Hambo atuno, okano, nin wichishpa, bar eo yarige chabi. Tatanka wagichi, wacha togonaka e tancha, mi and gibich. Ambane wastich. I just wanted to say hello and welcome. This is a beautiful day today for the Stoney Nakoda Nation. We call this place Wachishpa, which is talking about a young man's elbow, referring to the Elbow River and also where the two rivers meet. My name is Tatanka Wagichi, which is my grandfather's name, and means dancing buffalo in our language. And for me, I'm a young leader. I'm getting a little old now, but I'm a dancer, a singer, a father, and I love to do art, and I love to, now I really like to share and talk and speak from my heart. And that's another name that was given to me. I was adopted, me and my wife, by a family down in Rosebud, South Dakota. And they named me Wacha Toganaka Itancha, which means the one that follows, or the one that leads with his heart. And to me, that's pretty much what I have done in my lifetime. Since I was a little boy, I've always wanted to dance. I've always wanted to sing, and nothing stopped me from that. I had a family that helped me to put an outfit together with glue, duct tape, and some pins. So I wasn't the sharpest dancer on the dance floor. But eventually, with the help of friends on the powwow trail, with the help of family, that regalia started to, become a very, you would say a very traditional, very authentic outfit that I'm really proud of, that my brother, Gentle Grizzly, made for me when I turned 18. And for me, I was able to travel the world. I was able to go to many countries and volunteer my time. And the reason why I did that, there's a couple reasons. I was in high school in Morley, 2010, and I graduated, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get off the res and see the world for myself. And the other reason was that the year 2012 was coming, and I was thinking, the world's gonna end, and I gotta get out there. I gotta see this world before it's gone. But the other reason was that, following my heart, I always had this passion to, to get out and to see the world, but also bring back that knowledge to my community, share with others what it was like to be in Africa or in Peru, be able to share these gifts that I was able to put myself in, being in Africa, sleeping in my own sweat, being in Peru where there was no one that spoke English, and challenging myself. And I had a belief about myself that really grew, and of course it was challenging and tough coming from the res. And I got along more with people from other countries than I did with my own citizens in Canada. And so I really learned a lot about myself and who I am and where I come from. And so when I came home, after traveling, being able to volunteer, I often think about this perspective that we say, the Tatanga, the buffalo, and how he volunteered, amongst the animal nation. When we as human beings didn't know how to live on earth, the buffalo was asked by the animal nation to come forth to help, our people here on earth. And the buffalo, of course, they were all looking at each other. The otter was looking at the ferret, eagle was looking at hawk, and the coyote was looking at wolf. And the buffalo stepped forward, and he said, I'll volunteer, and you can use all my parts. To eat, to provide food, shelter, clothing, for spiritual healing as well. And so that was kind of what my beliefs and intentions were, was to have this perspective of what my ancestors thought. Today, I call, my vehicle my horse. I have a nice black truck, and I call him Heisapa, which is Black Hills, and he brings me everywhere. My brothers, I talk about them through their traditional names, like Gentle Grizzly, their skinny horse, and longtime pipe holder, both a part of the Blackfoot and Stoney Nakoda. But being able to, look at today's world from our ancestors is very tough, but they say when you do that, that's when you're able to understand the challenges that are before us. And so when I did this, I kind of came home, and, they say that, there's a ceremony where we go out and go, into the bush, and we're able to learn this knowledge that will help us ground ourselves in our community, and you bring it back. Long time ago, we would just go into the bush, not too far, and we would get this knowledge, but today we got planes and vehicles, so being able to travel to another country is now what I interpret as being a part of that ceremony, becoming of age, this new knowledge that you bring home. And that idea of we have to look at it from our ancestors' perspective, but also continue to overcome these challenges that are before us, and that saying of us often living in two different worlds and, dancing in between like the trickster, shape-shifting back and forth. And that's what, I see all these young people, you guys are all very talented and skilled to be able to do that, to be able to balance, these lives that are made for us now, and being able to be that leader for your family and for yourself. So when I came home, I wanted to contribute and give back to my community, and one of them was just getting this group of youth together, known as the Nakoda Youth Council, and the idea was just to bring some youth together and see what we can do in the community to volunteer and give back. And what ended up happening was something beautiful. They say I'm a co-founder, but I just feel like I was the one that just helped to get us together. And I don't see myself as that, that idea that we're all related and that no one is better than who you are, that smallest insect that's outside under the smallest rock. I'm no greater than that insect, and that belief, that our ancestors have. Continuing to hold that strong to yourself as who you are and where you come from. And with this youth group, we were able to, grassroots, just like the last speaker, we didn't have, funding, didn't have any salaries, but we were able to tell our story. You can tell we had a belief about ourselves, we had intentions to do great things, and we were able as a group to travel to the United Nations in New York and be able to be a part of the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. And in a way, these young people got to experience their first, journey out into the world, and culture shock, those challenges, and they brought that back, and now they're doing wonderful things in their community. That idea of looking from your ancestors' perspective, is truly an important role to have. Following your heart is really important, and that's all I did was follow my heart, and it's bringing me to beautiful places to meet beautiful people like yourselves. So with that, I just wanted to share that importance of looking from your ancestors' perspective, carrying that forward, and continuing to follow your heart, because that's what matters. Balancing that with your mind and your heart, because that's definitely what makes changes small, but they become greater and bigger. So with that, I'm going to have to say thank you, Ishnish. 7 minutes, like Max said, is not a lot of time. So I'll say thank you, and I look forward to getting to meet you all. Hope.